Ever wondered if everything we believe is actually true? Or could it be that some of our most common beliefs are nothing but myths? It's a curious world we live in, filled with stories passed down through generations, tales that have shaped our understanding, our perspective. But what if these tales are just myths? What if the truth is waiting to be discovered right beneath the surface? Intrigued? You should be. Stay tuned as we uncover the truth behind 15 popular myths you won't believe are false. Myth number 1. Bats are blind. This is a commonly held belief we've all heard, but it's far from the truth. Bats aren't blind. In fact, they see in black and white and can also see better in the dark than humans can. This misunderstanding likely stems from bats' unique ability to echolocate, which they use to navigate in darkness. This doesn't mean they're blind, it's just an additional tool they use to perceive their environment. Moving on to another misconception. You can see the Great Wall of China from space. It's a romantic idea, isn't it? But it's accurate. Even China's own Yang Liwei has confirmed that the Great Wall is not visible from low Earth orbit without the aid of telescopic lenses. The probably comes from the wall's impressive length, but in actuality it's too narrow to be seen from such an immense distance. The third myth for today is, humans only use 10% of their brains. This one has been popularized by movies and TV shows, but neuroscientists beg to differ. Brain imaging studies have demonstrated that virtually every part of the brain has a known function. While it's true that not every neuron fires at once over the course of a day, just about every part of our brain gets a workout. Let's debunk this myth. We use much more than 10% of our brains. So, there you have it, the first 3 misconceptions debunked. From bats that can see, to the unseeable Great Wall and the fully utilized human brain. Imagine how different our understanding of the world becomes when we debunk these misconceptions. Moving on to our fourth myth, sharks can smell a drop of blood from a mile away. While sharks do have an excellent sense of smell, this is an exaggeration. Sharks can detect blood in the water, but not from such a vast distance. Our fifth myth is, touching a toad can give you warts. This is a common belief, but it's not true. Toads do not cause warts. Warts are caused by a human virus, not toads. And our sixth myth is, the 5-second rule. This is the belief that if you drop food on the floor and pick it up within 5 seconds, it's safe to eat. But bacteria can contaminate food as soon as it hits the floor, so the 5-second rule isn't a real thing. Here comes our seventh myth. Goldfish have a 3-second memory. This popular belief has been debunked by several scientific studies. In reality, goldfish have a memory span of at least 3 months, and they can learn and remember complex tasks. So, next time you see a goldfish, remember, they're not as forgetful as you might think. Moving on to myth 8, different parts of the tongue taste different flavors. This myth originated from a misinterpreted diagram in a 1901 textbook. Modern research has proven that all taste sensations can be experienced anywhere on the tongue. Whether it's sweet, sour, salty, or bitter, every taste bud can detect every flavor. So there's no flavor map on our tongues. And our ninth myth, dogs see in black and white. This is a common misconception. In fact, dogs do see colors, but not as vividly as humans do. They see shades of blue and yellow but cannot distinguish between red and green. Next, we explore our 10th myth. Ostriches bury their heads in the sand when they're scared. Cartoons and jokes have reinforced this image, exaggerating a giant bird's ignorant response to danger. This myth too is incorrect. Ostriches don't bury their heads in the sand, instead lay low and flatten their necks to the ground when threatened, causing this misunderstanding. Now let's dive into our 11th myth. You can catch a cold from being cold. This is another age-old adage, the assumption that exposure to cold weather or sudden chills triggers a cold. The reality, however, is much different. Colds are caused by viruses, not the cold weather itself. In fact, you're more likely to catch a cold indoors where viruses spread more readily. And our 12th myth, humans evolved from monkeys. This is a common simplification of human evolution. However, humans and monkeys share a common ancestor, but one did not evolve directly from the other. So there you have it. Falsehoods exposed, and facts brought to light. As we continue to question and learn, we draw nearer to the truth. Reality, it seems, is often stranger than fiction. And now, onto our final 3 myths. We begin with, we only have 5 senses. Very much to the contrary, humans have more than just the traditional 5 senses, including the ability to detect temperature changes, maintain balance, and perceive the passage of time, to name a few. Our second myth is, a penny dropped from a skyscraper can kill a pedestrian. This is a misunderstood concept. The laws of physics dictate that a penny doesn't have the necessary mass to inflict fatal harm. It might cause a momentary sting, but it won't be lethal. Our last myth is, you need to wait 24 hours before reporting a missing person. This potentially harmful myth needs to be dispelled. The sooner a missing person is reported, the better the chances of finding them safely. Misconceptions persist because they are passed down through generations or because they provide a simplified version of a more complex truth. While these myths can be entertaining, it's crucial to challenge what we're told and search for the facts. And there you have it. We've debunked 15 common myths and replaced them with corroborated facts. Remember, while the world is full of wonder and mystery, it's also filled with verifiable truths. So, keep questioning, keep learning, and above all, keep seeking the truth. So, we've journeyed through a list of 15 common myths and uncovered the truth behind each one. From the false notion that bats are blind, to the mistaken belief that touching a toad can give you warts, we've dispelled these prevalent misconceptions. We've also exposed the truth about the widely held myth that humans only use 10% of their brains among others. Remember, not everything we hear or believe is accurate. Maintain a questioning mind and always stay curious. Until we meet again, stay enlightened.